Welcome to another episode of After Credits, everyone.
Hey!
I am Barnyard, and with me is a man that never has a plan, Daniel.
What's up?
And Brittany's in the back asleep in the trunk.
In the trunk?
Yeah. Mid-February.
Mid-February.
That means we just got out of 50 Shades.
Yeah, man.
If you watch,
That's the reason Brittany's in the trunk. We decided to get creative.
It is the Marvel Cinematic Universe's own Black Panther solo film. A couple months before Infinity War, where he will return once again. We were promised that in the after credits.
There are two. In case you don't know this by now, it's been 10 years. 2 after credit scenes. Stay, watch them. Respect the people that made the movie. I'm gonna ask you, what did you think of this?
Meh.
Oh my god, you racist! You alt-right cock.
I really enjoyed my time watching this film. Will I say it is the best MCU movie out? No.
I'm really struggling to see if this is my favorite or not.
Okay.
I'm still gonna call Thor Ragnarok my favorite, just out of like the joy that I got leaving that theater, but Black Panther was the first time since Iron Man that I felt the Marvel movies, like, being fresh.
It did feel very fresh.
Like, there's something about it that just... The way I felt when I saw Iron Man, I thought, wow, this is something new. Like, I've never... It's not that I've never seen this before, but it feels fresh, it feels new, it feels vibrant. And everything about this movie feels the exact way. Just how interwoven mythology, sci-fi, espionage, a hero's journey with some just punch you in the face. It's not even subtext. It's text as in your face as the transitions in Civil War, man.
Oh, yeah.
This, I'm really stunned about how much there is to chew on in this film. King T'Challa. Now King T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman. He's the Black Panther. After, spoiler alert, his daddy dies in the Civil War.
Fucking
spoiler alert for 2 years ago. Hey, man.
Jesus.
Look, if people are still walking...
One of our first reviews.
I was about to say, if people are still walking out of Marvel movies at the end credit scenes, then there are some people that don't know about Civil War. The whole movie's basically about the struggles that come with being king and how to be a good leader and how to be a good a figurehead for your country, your people, to the rest of the world. This movie looks at technology, it looks at sci-fi, and it makes you just kind of like perk up and just go, God, that's fucking cool! That was kind of like this giddy excitement, and yet it can hit you with these really strong emotional beats about, you know, the past and reconciling your mistakes of the past, owning those mistakes and carrying them into the future. It very much kind of follows the same path as Thor Ragnarok did with Thor's relationship with his dad. I think this one goes far above and beyond. It's definitely more overt about what it's tackling. It's tackling, you know, racism, systematic oppression. The racist villain in all of this, which is Ulysses Claw, played by an Andy Serkis, who has like... Do you know that Charlie Chaplin short where he's so broke and hungry that he takes like shoelaces and starts eating them like spaghetti? Yeah. That's what Andy Serkis is doing with the scenery. Just straight up absorbing it.
He was a great part of that film.
He was fantastic. But even like that racist villain, he's so cartoonish that you kind of laugh at it. And in a way that just like, he's not the real villain. In any other movie, the villain would just be the racist, cartoonish guy.
He's racist cartoon guy?
Kind of. I mean, he's the one that's calling them savages. I read some interviews where they were saying, like, Chadwick Boseman was the least interesting character of the movie, and I don't think that's true.
No, definitely not.
And I think that's because people are looking at him as a reserved character, which in parts he is, but I never found that to be distracting. I found that to be a guy who's always thinking. This is a guy that always is looking at every situation, trying to figure out how best to handle it, which is what I think a king should be doing.
You're right.
Letitia Wright as his sister, and like, if this is Black James Bond, she's his Q. She is the best part of this movie.
I made that connection to Daniel in the theater when I was
She's got like this childlike and energetic glee, and not just glee to like fuck with her older brother. There's this great relationship and kind of like giving each other shit dynamic that they have, but there's also this excitement about just science. Like Martin Freeman shows up in this movie as Agent Ross from Civil War. There's this great scene where she's just like talking to him about like all the fun that she had making these cool technologies out of this precious metal, and you can really see it in her face that she loves science. All the supporting characters in this movie, I never found one of them to be a truly throwaway character. They always had something, a scene, a look, a line of dialogue that really endeared you to them, made them feel like actual people. Michael B. Jordan, fuck, this guy's good.
Oh, he was in Fantastic Four. You know, he's already had his run in the comic book movie. Oh, he's gonna suck like he did there. Dude, no, it's
fuck you.
It's obviously a director and a script problem. It's obviously because Michael B. Jordan knocked this out of the fucking park.
Dude, I'm pretty sure the people that are saying that are just looking for any reason to dislike this movie.
Oh, you probably.
But with Michael B. Jordan, there was an element to it where I was looking at his character in the trailers, and he has like that weird like mini weekend palm tree on his head, and he's talking with the American accent, and he looks like a Brooklyn hipster, and you're like, I don't know how this is gonna fit, and yet this movie finds a way to weave him in as kind of this guy who is Wakandan, but he's also American. And he's definitely the guy that, like, comes in, he bridges the gap between, like, the outside world and this world. And he's sitting there, like, calling this country out for, you know, if this movie is basically another twist on with great power comes great responsibility. What responsibility do you have is, I think, what this movie's asking.
Because his whole thing was he wants, you know, Wakanda to use their technology to help better the world. Help better oppress, I'm just gonna say it, black people to overthrow the governments and take control. And I was like
Michael B. Jordan is playing Malcolm X like up to 1 million. So do we go into spoilers here?
Fuck, man.
Fuck it. Spoiler alert.
I was about to say, after all we said, we could probably just end it there and tell people to go fucking watch the film.
I mean, you know we're telling you to watch this movie, but we're going to talk about some spoilers, because I have some things I want to talk about. So, scroll to the time code right there if you don't want to hear any spoilers, and we'll give you our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars.
Forrest Whitaker. Whenever they had the fucking flashback, or the opening scene, I didn't notice that guy had a fucked up eye. And then whenever it's revealed that it's Forrest Whitaker, younger, it's like, he has a fucked up eye just like Forrest Whitaker.
You know what's weird? I think that's his son. I saw it in the credits. Like, I think it's Denzel Whitaker.
Please don't tell me that eye thing is fucking...
Is it genetic? I hope it's not.
That poor bastard.
I think I was watching Double Toasted's review. It was a picture saying, like, Wakanda is basically the alt-right version of a country. Because it's overly isolationist, it pulls up a bunch of borders, it doesn't support refugees at all, it's keeping all its resources to itself, and it's very much like our people, not yours. And I'm thinking,
and just because they're black, we agree with them.
That's the thing. This movie will force you to question that. Because there are people that do think that way. That take that sort of like, we are oppressed, now we need to give ourselves power, without either realizing or caring that they'll become oppressors as well. And this movie's not advocating that. That's where Michael B. Jordan's going, and Chadwick Boseman's not with him at all. I was gonna talk about the after credits scene, the first one.
I feel like, I mean, why not?
Okay, so
we've had more bullshit after credit scenes.
I think it's bullshit for a different way. T'Challa approaching the United Nations, and he says he's basically announcing that Wakanda is going to start sharing their knowledge and technology with the world, because in difficult times we need to start building bridges, not shutting them down. We need to really come together.
Very Trump vibe right there. Or anti-Trump vibe.
Yeah, it was like, we need to build bridges, not put up borders. And you could hear, like, the audience chuckling. And for a movie whose political heart is on its sleeve, whose thoughts about colonialism, refugees, about looking at your past, reflecting and moving forward, why is this scene, this speech that is so damn good and inspiring, why do you think Ryan Coogler put it in the after credit scene and not the end of the movie?
Because I feel like the end of the movie was good enough.
Because the after credit scene is so good, it's gonna make me look back at this scene and really figure out why would you choose to end there, because that's such a directorial choice. You could have just cut from the kid saying, "Who are you?" to the scene, or you could have, like, adapted that in some way.
I felt like it was fine the way it is.
I don't know.
I just thought of something.
Yep. What is it?
No Soul Stone.
Oh. So you think it's just going to be an Infinity War?
I mean, either that or Avengers 4. Infinity War is going to end on a down note. It's going to show, Thanos just absolutely fucking everybody. And then the second part of the movie is, like, sometime later, and where they come back and they finally beat him.
Maybe.
I honestly feel like it's going to be Infinity War Part 2.
It's just going to be a two-parter that's not called a two-parter. They're going to pull a Divergent.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Before I mention anything, every review's been saying it, and I'm going to say it too. Ruth Carter, costume designer for this movie. Holy fucking shit. This woman, like, cemented it. Won, hair and makeup. You win. Game over. It's done. This movie's costuming is just so stark, and it has so much personality and life and vibrancy to it, and everything is distinct. Also, another name to throw out there, Oscar nominated for Mudbound, Rachel Morrison, director of photography, cinematography. This woman's fucking amazing. The cinematography in this is just breathtaking sometimes. And then there's some cool shit, like whenever we're talking about that fight with Mane, whenever, like, T'Challa would get hit in the face, and then you see that really quick shot of, like, POV, he's in the water, like, waking up, like, what the fuck? It almost felt like you were in that fight, and he was dazed and kind of, like, waking up. I thought those were, like, really cool little touches.
Now that you got the professional shit out of the way, Stan Lee cameo. They were in a Asian casino, and I made this joke. T'Challa, he won some money at craps. He was walking away, and Ross goes, "Hey, you won." And Stan goes, "Oh, I'll just take that over here for safekeeping." So pretty much old white man stealing from black people again.
Shame. You know what the worst part of this movie is? It's part of the Marvel machine. Black Panther is going to be in Avengers Infinity War. I mean, he's in the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if, though, if this was separated from it, I genuinely would not know if he survives getting thrown off that waterfall. This felt like a movie that could totally kill somebody and just cement it. It felt like Game of Thrones in that way.
I knew it's a Marvel, another cog in the machine. I knew the hero would come back. Now, if they would have did something differently,
that would have been like
for at least like one movie, then it'll at least get you questioning every time.
Yeah.
But this, I had no questions. I was like, yeah, he's gonna come back. I wonder how he's gonna survive.
Is it the cinematic universe's fault for that?
Yeah.
Or is it like us? Because I've noticed sometimes, like, we're so busy to figure out everything about a movie, first look, exclusive, clickbait kind of things, that, like, have we kind of had this maybe it's a symbiotic relationship, but we've kind of brought it on ourselves, Welcome back. If you scroll to the time code, we've been talking a long time about Black Panther and Infinity War and other things, and systemic racism. But now we're back for final thoughts. Scores out of 6 stars. I'll let you have it, my good man.
Can't decide if I want to give it a 5.5 or a 6.
Ooh. What? Okay, what's your deciding factor? What don't you like about this movie?
I can't really find anything that I dislike, but then again, I'm like, that isn't worthy of a 6. Systematic racism.
Systematic racism, is that worthy?
So either I give it a 6 and I'll be called a, social justice warrior, or I give it a 5.5 and I call it racist. Fuck it, I'll give it a 6. This is a fun fucking movie.
Yeah!
This is a very fun movie, and I'm glad I saw it. Dude, the last 2 MCU movies have been fucking fantastic.
Yeah, man. I am joining him. I'm going 6 out of 6 as well. Like, this movie is something that I finally put in my official ranking. I've got, for top 5, Thor Ragnarok, this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, and Iron Man. Only reason Thor Ragnarok...
We have a similar top 5.
Yeah, only reason Ragnarok's higher than this is because Ragnarok just had me, like, in a state of unbeknownst glee the entire way. And this movie, there were some slow points, and there are points where I was kind of questioning where the movie was going. I mean, it would fix it later. Some of the CGI is, like, kind of laughable. The backgrounds were like, ooh, that's very sound stagey.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, this movie is one that's like a grower. That movie's gonna take a lot of time to, like, go back, watch this again, look at it with different context. There's been a trend lately in the Oscars of, like, there's a bunch of things nominated, and then there's, like, the popular movie. So 2015, it was Mad Max Fury Road. 2017, Get Out. And people are bitching about Wonder Woman not being Best Picture. This is the first time in probably since I've been watching movies where the popular movie that could get nominated for Best Picture, this also has the strongest chance of winning.
Aren't they usually blacklist comic movies?
Usually. But think about it. Think about the change that's moving through the industry right now.
Think about the SJWs that are going to go up in arms if it's not nominated.
Yeah.
Just like all the SJ Warriors for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but in my mind, this is the movie that's like, wow, this is so fucking good. It really would be a crime if this wasn't looked at.
You're right.
I've never really felt that way about a popcorn movie, but since, like, Dark Knight, yeah, this is that good.
I would say Ragnarok, Avengers, Guardians, and Panther tied for 3.
Okay.
And then number 5 is Iron Man.
Alright. Sammy watched it with us. I asked her because, it's late. We got at, like, 1. It's almost 3 right now. We spent so much time figuring out this new camera. I asked Sammy, like, okay, if you're not gonna be here, what's your score? And she went, bomb as shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first 7-star rating goes for Sam. Because our rating system is like, what, 1 star is you hate it, 2 is dislike, 3 is just okay, 4 you like it, 5 you enjoy it, 6 you adore it. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 stars means a movie is bomb shit. With the first ever 6.33 out of 6. Enjoy it, relish it, have fun. Don't be that asshole that is on their phone in the middle of this movie. I swear to God it's the same fucking guy. Because it's always in the front row, like second to the right. I swear to Christ it's the same motherfucker every time. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like this video, like button, subscribe, click that bell icon for new videos when they fucking happen. We got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The next movie I want to see is Annihilation, the new sci-fi movie with Natalie Portman. When's Elimination Chamber?
25th.
25th, we're going to be doing a video for that. If you care about wrestling, we're going to see who is going to be the Half-Cocked World Champion. But until we do, and you know this quote, any and all of those things, thank you for watching this movie. Take care. Good night. Love you.